I'm a fan of the Mezco One 12th line. I really like messing with them, posing them around, using them in my photography, but what I don't like doing with them is actually displaying them in my collection. And the reason I don't like doing that is because the bases that they come with are enormous. It's fine when you have just a couple of them, maybe a few, but once you start getting more than 6 or 7, this just gets completely out of hand. They eat space. These things are 5 inches across in all directions because the bases are circular, which is also the least space-efficient shape that they could have gone with for these. For those reasons, and some others, like I still don't understand why they have such a huge base but only one place that you can plug anything into, I decided to make these. This is the Model M Multibase. What I wanted to do with this product was the same thing I wanted to do with the Unibase. Provide people an option that both saved space and provided a much greater degree of functionality than the official product. The first thing that you're going to notice is that this thing is just covered in holes. What all do they do? 3 of those slots are for fitting standard Mezco peg stands and stand arms. Another 3 are to fit the size variances I've found among Mezco peg stands that came with figures such as the Deadpools, that have a slightly thicker base peg. In addition to supporting the Mezco stand pegs and stand arms, it also has slots to support Tamashii, Figma, Nendoroid, Revoltech, Mafex, and Obitsu stand arms as well. All of this functionality comes in a very simple 3-inch by 3-inch form factor that will significantly reduce the amount of space that your Mezcos take up in your display. In order to give you a better idea of exactly how much space you can save by using these bases over the Mezco bases, let's take a look at this glass shelf from an IKEA display cabinet, the Detolf, which is pretty much the most popular display cabinet for figure collectors out there. You can fit 6 Mezco bases on one of these shelves, and you can see a lot of dead space here on the shelf afterwards. Now the question is, if we were using the Model M Multibase, how many of those could we fit on this shelf? 19. You could fit 19 of them on one IKEA Detolf shelf. Would you use 19 at once? Probably not, but however many you do use, you'd clearly save a huge amount of space and get the most out of your display than you would if you were using the original Mezco bases. One of the problems that I mentioned earlier with the Mezco base was that you only had one spot where you could put the peg stand or the stand arm, and it was never both. It was only either one or the other. With my base, you don't have to make that choice. If you wanted to have 2 figures standing on the base with 2 peg stands, you can do it. If you want to have 1 figure standing and 1 figure hovering over them with the stand arm, you can do that too. If you want to have 2 figures on the same base with 2 stand arms, that's fine. The options are there for you. Of course, there's always the question of stability when it comes to display-based products. Will this thing provide safe, good stability for what I choose to display on it? That's important. For the stability testing for this base, I chose to use a figure that was both larger and heavier than the average Mezco figure. I used the Revoltech Venom. I shook the hell out of this thing for almost 2 minutes. It didn't tip once. Unless you live inside of an actual earthquake, or you run around your house swinging your arms violently at your display case, this is good. The Model M Multibase will be available for pre-order for the first time on June 22nd at 5 PM PST, that's Los Angeles time, on Canofbeams.com. The first order wave will be a pre-order that will ship towards the end of July through the beginning of August, and afterwards it will be available permanently on Canofbeams.com as a built-to-order product. For more information on the Model M Multibase, pictures, video, and whatnot, and of other stuff that I work on, which is extensive and crazy, please visit @Canofbeams on Instagram, canofbeams.com, or the Canofbeams Facebook page. There will, of course, be links in the description below.